Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to dive into a story that's probably familiar to a lot of you, but we're going to look at it through a really specific lens. We're asking a question that, once you hear the answer, kind of unlocks a deeper understanding of human nature, logic, and what faith really is.
So the Quran lays it out for us pretty clearly. As Noah, or Nuh, is building the ark, groups of his own people would pass by and, well, they'd mock him. And we're not talking about some lighthearted teasing here. This was serious, biting ridicule.
So, why? What was so funny? To really get it, we've got to do something that's a little tricky. We have to completely step out of our modern minds and put ourselves in their shoes. We need to see the world from their eyes, with their knowledge. Okay, you ready? Let's get into it.
All right, reason number one, and this is a big one, the thing itself, the ark. To them, it was just this totally bizarre, alien-looking object they had never seen before.
I mean, just try to imagine seeing something that you have absolutely no category for in your brain. There was zero precedent for what Noah was building. He wasn't just making a better version of something they already knew, he was creating something from scratch that was literally beyond their imagination.
And this slide really drives the point home. Look at the huge gap here. On one hand, you have what they knew, maybe using a hollowed-out log to get across a river. Simple, practical, makes sense. On the other hand, you have what Noah was building, this colossal, complex, multi-story structure. The two things aren't even in the same universe of ideas.
So, think about that. He's building something that not only looked weird, but it didn't even have a proper name or a known purpose in their world. Just the act of creating this fundamentally strange new thing was probably enough to make people scratch their heads and, yeah, laugh.
Okay, so the object itself was weird enough. But now let's add the second piece of the puzzle, which, from their perspective, just cranked the absurdity dial all the way up to 11, where he was building it. You see, it's one thing to build a strange object. It's a whole other level of weird to build this giant thing that's meant for water in the middle of a dry, landlocked area. It makes no sense.
And this table just lays out their thought process perfectly, doesn't it? You've got a bizarre object plus a totally illogical location, and what do you get when you put them together? Complete absurdity. I mean, if you're looking at it purely from their rational, what-you-can-see point of view, you can't really blame them for thinking it was all a big joke.
And this is where the story really pivots. It becomes this massive clash between two completely different ways of seeing the world. The logic of what you can see with your own eyes versus unwavering faith in what you can't.
And check out Noah's response here. It's fascinating. He doesn't pull out blueprints or try to explain the science. His reply is a statement of just absolute confidence. It's a certainty that isn't based on what he can prove to them, but on his complete trust in a divine command that just went way beyond their everyday logic. And that's really the heart of it all. They mocked what they could physically see, a weird project in a nonsensical spot. But he had this unshakable certainty in a reality that was coming, a reality that was still totally invisible to everyone else.
You know, the reason this story sticks with us thousands of years later isn't just because of the Great Flood. It's because of the powerful, timeless lesson it teaches us about what it means to believe in something, in any time, in any era. So, what are the big takeaways for us? Well, first, it's about learning to trust in a kind of wisdom that might not make sense by today's standards. Second, it's about having the patience and the conviction to stick with something, especially when people doubt you. And finally, it's this core idea that true faith often means believing in a future that you can't see or prove, at least not yet.
And that leaves us with a final, really powerful question to think about in our own lives. And it's this: what is the ark that you are being called to build? What great purpose or project in your life feels absolutely essential, even if the world around you just can't see it yet?
I just want to mention that this explainer was based on the fantastic presentation put together by Dr. Sameh Tawfik. Thank you so much for joining us.